Evaṃ sutaṃ ekaṃ samayaṃ bhagavā Vāraṇasiyam viharati isipatane migadāye Tatrako bhagavā pañcavaggiye bhikkhu āmantesi Dveme bhikkhave antapabhajitena na sevitabba yucayaṃ kāmesu kāmasu kallikānu yogo hino gammo potuccaniko anariyo anatta sanghito yocayaṃ atta kilamatanu yogo dukkho anariyo anatta sanghito ete te bhikkave ubho ante anupagamma majjhima patipada tathagatena abhisambuddha Chakkukarani Jnanakarani Upasamaya Abhiññāya Sambodhāya Nibbānāya Samvattati Katamāca sābhikkhave majjhimā patipadā tathāgatena abhisambuddhā Chakkukarani Jnanakarani Upasamāya Abhiññāya Sambodhāya Nibbānāya Samvattati Ayameva Ariyo Attangiko Maggo Siyatidam Sammaditthi Samma Sankappo Samma Vāca Samma Kammanto Samma Ājivo Samma Vāyamo Samma Sati Samma Samadhi Ayanko sabhikkhave majjhima patipada tathagatena abhisambuddha Chakkukarani Jnanakarani Upasamāya Abhiññāya Sambodhaya Nibbanaya Samvattati.
So, in that way, like in practice of meditation, Bhagavan Shri Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, you are supposed to select a clean place where you get nice ventilation and a silent place, or like a lonely place. Maybe in your home itself, if you have a prayer room, you can select that, or maybe outside.
This use this knowledge base to try and see how we can go about doing that. Obviously, in such a short time, I don't think we will be really able to make that kind of spectacular progress. However, my objective would be to try and present to you a possibility that you can
Same old story that I was reading for the nth time. I thought writing my thesis was suddenly very boring. I had no idea how I would finish the project. I felt vague and emotionless. In this passage, the Samaritan woman asks Jesus, a Jew, who approached her for a drink of water.
Small thing. I wanted to sort of self-reflect on that fact that there's Bhakti Yoga, there's Karma Yoga, where it's a daily thing. It's a continuous thing. It's a 24/7, 365-day thing. Raja Yoga, or the lifestyle yoga, is really a lifestyle. We cannot summarize or simplify yoga to a 1-hour practice session at a gymnasium over a
Sadhguru said, have you noticed I never talk with him until the discourse is over? Because when I talk to them before that, he go up without hearing the discourse. But he's hearing those discourses, and God will slowly enter his heart. And sure enough, after some years,
take La from the novel, relax shoulder, heart sky, and hit Zarb ilallah to the heart. La ilaha illallah, La ilaha illallah, La ilaha illallah.
cycle is very simple. So that is the soul which is bound by the karma. And the more of raga and dvesha, or attachment or aversion the person does with mind, body and soul. Sorry, man, vachan and kaya, mind, body and speech, the person binds more karma. So the whole process of a Jain upasaka, whether he is the householder or the monk, the whole process
Same way, the mind also has two optional aspects within it. One is grahanam, dharanam. What does that mean is basically whatever the knowledge it is able, it will be able to have it within itself. Lot of knowledges which you will gain, so it will be very focused. Hearing.
Everyone, greetings to you from Ashtanga Yoga Mandir. I would like to welcome all of you who has joined from different parts of the world to DHYANA, the March Discourse. DHYANA is an online meditation program which talks about the ancient philosophy of yoga with guided meditation practice, which is conducted by Ashtanga Yoga Mandir. So since we have many newcomers with us today, let me brief you about our center and its activities. Ashtanga Yoga Mandir is a center for yogic knowledge which has its roots since 1953. Ashtanga Yoga Mandir Academy offers diploma in Hatha Yoga instruction and yogic lifestyle counseling and yoga therapy. The academy uses highly qualified residential and visiting lecturers, both foreign and local, to impart knowledge, instruct, and empower students around the world. AYM is closely affiliated with several international yoga associations such as Asian Yoga Therapy, Eswasa Yoga University, India, and the Vivekananda Yoga Global in Singapore. We conduct regular yoga classes for corporate, senior citizens, and yoga for ladies and kids, and therapy yoga for health issues. We have been conducting various workshops and sessions to impart the knowledge of yoga, and meditation being an important concept of yoga. We launched DHYANA in December last year, and today is our 14th program. And it is our honor to have Most Venerable Eeriyagama Dammajiva Thero with us today. And thank you, Most Venerable Dammajiva Thero, for accepting our invitation to be the guest speaker of this session. And also, we are pleased to have Venerable Bante Kusala Thero with us, who has joined the session upon our invitation. And to proceed, let me invite Ms. Trishadi Silva, a senior yoga instructor in Ashtanga Yoga Mandir, to introduce our guest speaker today. Thank you.
Welcome.
Good evening to you all. It is my honor to respectfully welcome Venerable Eeriyagama Dammajiva Mahathero to our Dhyana program. He is the present abbot and chief precept of Mitrigala Nissarana Vanaya. Venerable Dammajiva Mahathero is a graduate of the University of Peradeniya, having completed both his bachelor's and master's of science there. It was during his undergraduate studies that a rather significant personal event left the Venerable Dammajiva Thero with a strong urge to follow a more spiritual inward journey. In following his inner calling, the Venerable Dammajiva Thero was ordained a monk in 1988 and received a higher ordination at the Sri Kalyani Yogashama Samstha. Upon being ordained for 4 years, the Venerable Thero underwent training under the most Venerable Matra Sri Nanarama Mahathero, whilst also being mentored by the Venerable Katakurunde Nanananda Mahathero. Upon the passing away of his teacher, Venerable Dammajiva Thero took up intensive training in Vipassana meditation techniques under Sayadaw Pandita Bhimamsa in Myanmar. It was during this time he mastered Burmese, allowing him to translate significant works by Burmese monks into Sinhala and English. At the request of the Nissarana Vanaya Sangha, Venerable Dammajiva Thero returned to Sri Lanka and continued his practice in solitude while engaging in formal monastic studies in Pali, Vinaya, and Abhidhamma. And he chose to even self-study the Sutra Pitaka, which is part of the Tripitaka, a key text in Theravada Buddhism. He is not only a teacher and practitioner of meditation, but he is also a reputed author. Venerable Dammajiva Thero has authored over 40 publications, including books on Theravada Buddhism and translations of rare and invaluable Burmese meditation manuals. He links meditation and mindfulness to the key teachings of the Buddha, such as those seen in the Satipatthana Sutra and the Anapanasati Sutra. Equipped with his vast knowledge and practical insights through his own studies and self-practice, Venerable Dammajiva Thero offers his teachings on a global scale. Every year, at the invitation of various Buddhist groups, he conducts residential retreats in Australia, Canada, New Zealand, USA, and Singapore. We are certainly lucky to have Venerable Dammajiva Thero amongst us today, and I would like to now respectfully invite the Venerable Dammajiva Thero to share some of his insights with us.
Thank you very much. Good evening for everyone. So I am going to give a formal kind of a talk and still wish to contemplate and if possible to have little meditation or in rather to be mindful. If possible, I will try few minutes together with you. So to start my formal talk, I would like to have a traditional start. So may those who know how to listen to a sermon, they may know at the beginning they will start with sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Those who knows may follow the tradition and may give the consent with 3 times sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Yoga vijayati bhuri ayoga bhuri sankhayo. Etang dvidapatang nyatva bhavaya vibhavaya cha tatathanang niveseyya yata bhuri pavadditoti. Dear Dhamma friends, I recited in a traditional way a famous stanza from the Dhammapada. That is, you find in Sutta Pitaka, for those who familiar with the Tipitaka in Buddhism. But that particular one, that particular stanza is talking about yoga. So I thought of, I can find some relationship between the Ashtanga Yoga invitation and our tradition in the Sutta Pitaka, in the yoga. So I belongs to a sect of monks we call Yoga Asrama Sanstha. This started in about 60 years ago, and as introduced, I was about now 30 years old in this ordination. So whenever they introduced this Yoga Asrama Sanstha, our senior monks or our teachers, so to say, it happened them to justify why we call Yoga Asrama Sanstha. And then my teacher, most venerable Matara Sri Jnanarama, gave a talk why we should call Yoga Asrama Sanstha. And there he quoted this particular stanza. So following the suit, I also selected the same. So I to go back to the stanza, Yoga ve jayati bhuri. It says, whenever you get avenued, whenever you get connected, whenever you get diligent, your progress is there. Ayoga bhuri sankhayo. Whenever you are negligent, whenever you are not avenued, whenever you are not face-to-face, you develop defilements. You develop regression. Etang dvidha patang nyatva. So one has to understand, one has to deduce, one has to have the inferential knowledge by the common sense. Those who are following the diligent way, those who are engaged, those who are really avenued with one's own objective, gradual development is there, progress is there, light to light. But whenever someone is not diligent, we call negligent. Whenever someone becomes negligent, it will follow suit and go from darkness to darkness. So for that, we must have common sense. And quite unfortunate enough, present day, in our contemporary community, no one is having common sense. That become the most uncommon thing is the common sense. So therefore, they don't know what is yoga, what is ayoga, what is the progress, what is the regress. So therefore, one has to have the bifocal path. bifork path. Progressing path, which is we call diligence. That is the way I translate. I prefer to translate the term yoga. And the ayoga is called negligence. So whenever these two being followed, of course in a sustainable way, continuous way, then one can understand how much one can get the progress. Or if it is otherwise, if someone is negligent, the degrading and darkness to darkness. Eta etan dvedha patang nyatva bhavaya vibhavaya cha. The going forward or backward, progressing or regressing, one has to experience with one's own life. So when I was age 26, I was in the Peradeniya University as a second year student. Of course, I registered in the agriculture faculty, but there was a white monk in the lake house Buddhist center. They call it Veluwana Dhamma Group. So it was an accident for me to go and see this monk, and I wanted to just have a relationship with him. Maybe I was attracted to the white skin. But he refused. He told the you Sri Lankans having the most precious asset in the world, but no one is following. And you all are called, you are from Dammajiva, that's the island of Dhamma, and you claim that you are the people distribute among the other Theravada traditional countries and Dhammaduta work, but you don't know what is the core teaching of the Buddha. I know today's audience is not everyone is Buddhist, but I am making my background for you to understand. Then I told Bhante, it may be correct because I stopped my learning of Buddhism at the age class 10. 10 onward, I was in science, and now I am in a university. I don't know. I accept it. Then he was not telling me the answer. Then I told Bhante, without punching me so much, why don't you give some ammunition? Then I also can give a fight. Then he asked me whether you know the term appamada, or the diligence, or pamada, that is the opposite of it, negligence. That's a core teaching of the Buddha. Then I protested. I told Bhante, how come that? Because I am a born Buddhist, my mother and father are Buddhist, and I have got the credit pass for my 10th grade exam, and they never taught me such a thing in the Buddhism. That is why he told, no use of talking with you people. You all are bright, academic, renowned people maybe for the Buddhism, but you don't know the core teaching. Then I told, I am not a renowned one, I am not a bright one, I am not a professor of Buddhism, I am not professing it, but I claim I have never heard about. That is why he told. So imagine it took 8 to 9 years for me to understand how to apply the Buddhism in terms of diligence to my young life. So meanwhile, I had my idea, one day I must give full-time research, lifelong research for this, so I must become a full-time meditator. But I was not happy about the Sri Lankan Buddhist monks community at that time as a layperson. So it was quite a resistance within me to go and become a monk and become a practitioner. But ultimately it happened me to compromise. And lucky enough, I did it with a lot of research. And I came to Nisarnavane, where that I am giving the talk here. And that whole monastery was dedicated for this yoga, for this engaging, for this diligence. And the tool we use for engaging the diligence is the mindfulness. In Pali we call sati, In Sinhala, we call Sihiya, and sometimes the mindfulness is translated by scholars as awareness also. So it is my duty to see the relationship between the diligence and the mindfulness, appamada and the sati. And it is my duty to explain it to you people, those who are attentively listening. So let me explain appamada first, little bit, so that it will give light, it will shed light towards my main subject of mindfulness. Appamada is called diligence. The opposite of appamada is negligence. And whenever you are negligent, you know that you all are delayed. So everyone in the present day society, those who fairly achieved towards the success of economic life, towards the success of political life, towards the success of social life, they have to be diligent. It is nothing to teach. It is nothing with Buddhism or yoga or religion, this thing. But you have to be motivated. You must be diligent. So whenever you become diligent, you do things on time. That is, you call punctuality. So it is being taught in the schools. It is being taught in science lectures, and it is being taught in every precision, because only we have to be precise on time and space. We have to be specific on the time, and we have to be specific on the space. So this is about the meticulous or diligent or punctual way of handling time. It's the most precious thing. So when we are doing, we may, of course, the audience, everyone may agree with me, we have done a fair amount of research and fair amount of our own direct experience. That is why we are here now. Because the world is full of fire. World is full of tension. World is full of frustration, global warming, environmental pollution, mental pollution. So amidst of all that kind of a chaotic situation, I hope we are somewhat better off. We can take 1 hour for a talk like this. Others can't. They have so much of pressure. Even if they wish, they can't. So therefore we manage. But the point that I am going to make is to be diligent, to be meticulous on what you should do. Fairly we are better off. But what about the not to do what you should not do? That is the secret. In the society, you have do's and don'ts. Charitra, varitra. And we in civilized society today, I will specifically say the modern day civilization is fairly alert about what to do, and to do it in a punctual way, precise way. But the complaint is they are quite negligent about what you should not do to be punctual. That is what we call ethics. That is what we call moral shame and moral fear. Whatever you should do, you must have a moral standard. As far as you are living in the society, or ethical values. But everyone in our contemporary age knows science was completely responsible about the eradication of the moral values in the society, ethical values in the society. At the beginning, as a science student, I thought it's an unknown area, so therefore they were not concerned about the ethical values. So I used to cut frogs. I used to cut the earthworms. I used to cut cockroaches. At the laboratory, I was the person to kill everyone for my classmates. I never felt ashamed because that is the way the science was taught. But later, specifically 2019, I went to Melbourne and we had a retreat, residential retreat. My seat was just opposite of the library. So I used to go to the library. It was in Melbourne. And I met a book called The Hidden Curriculum. Hidden curriculum. Our curriculum is planned, scheduled to remove ethics, morality. So it is 200 years old conspiracy. So it was quite an opening for me. So I studied, and they knew it. And school children come to the classroom, 35 minutes, 35 children under one teacher with the different likings and disliking. They have to regiment to be prepared for the multinational production and the army. And they hate it. But the system is such. So the teacher has to appear like a moral figure, appear ethical person. But they are not. Today in Sri Lanka, 86% of the government school teachers under the stress. They don't know what to do. Because they are teaching something not related to Sri Lanka, not related to the human mind, not related to the children. Understanding they are illiterate, they are emotional illiteracy. This is a byproduct of the present education. And we have to learn emotional literacy, not the emotional intelligence, not the IQ. So it is being now discussed in America, specifically in the New Haven University, Connecticut. And they say, whenever you are doing something, what you should do, you must concern about what you should not do. When we are having rapport with the other party in a society, we must understand what are the feelings of the other person. So for that, you must understand your feelings. That self-exploration we can do by mindfulness, but the bigger frame is we call apamada, bigger frame we call diligence. You have to be very diligent. You have to on the spot, be on the ball. You have to be short and sweet and understand it. But we are completely negligent. We are living utterly our life in the past or future. Whenever we are entertaining the past, regression, direct relationship. Whenever we are projecting for the future, unwanted excitement. In Pali, it says, Atitanudhavanang chittang vikhopanupatitang samadhissa paripanto. Whenever you are following the past, your mind is in a regretting background and you cannot have diligence or dhyana or concentration. Anagata patikankanam chittang vikampitang samadhisa paripanto. Whenever you are planning future, excitement is there, mind is not settled. So how to keep in the present moment? So that is what you call avenuing with, engaging with, be alert with, be mindful with, be aware with the present moment. If that is the definition for yoga, I have very little understanding about the Hatha Yoga and Pranayama. You have to be aware of about your posture. When you are changing from one posture to other, you must be diligent, vigilant, and then only you can maintain the consistency, you can maintain the sustainability of the mindfulness or contentment from one posture to other. So God Shiva showed 84 main postures. Each and everyone is having 1,000 nuances, shadows. all are 84,000. Whatever the posture we are living, we are in a yoga posture. Each and everyone, we have to be aware how posture to posture changing. So that is being well explained and taught in Hatha Yoga, in Iyengar Light of Yoga, and you can understand, they assure you mind and body purification. So from the Buddhist point of view, it says you can be engaged with your body here and now in many, many ways. Whenever it is being taught in Buddhist meditation or rather in mindfulness, we usually recommend sitting posture. We all are now in a sitting posture. The best is sit in a full lotus posture or half lotus posture or quarter lotus posture. But due to the today furniture, no one can sit on the ground now. Everyone needs some kind of other cushions and all the kind of thing. So yoga in that sense, I mean Hindu yoga, Brahmana yoga, is indicating you to be touch with the ground, touch with the Mother Earth. And that is the way you can do. Imagine after doing a good yoga session from the Hatha Ashtanga yoga point of view, you are going to have a comfortable sitting. And be aware your present moment. Whatever the posture you are sitting, you are asked to be aware of the posture and love the present moment. That we call in mindful schools, here, now, I am sitting. So whenever such a, so to say, after a yoga session, after mobilization of energy, when you are sitting, to be aware that I am sitting. When I was doing Hatha Yoga, we used to do Savasana, just like a corpse. You lie down and then just let the body to relax. Imagine, instead of lying down, you are sitting. And be aware that here, now, I am sitting. So whenever it happens, that is to say, whenever you are aware that I am sitting here, how can you verify whether you are not in the past, not in the future, not thinking about the person close by, not thinking about the other places? That is something you only can verify, here only can verify, now only can verify. That you can't taught. Not only that, whenever you are sitting and try to be aware, here now I am, imagine that you come across that engagement, that avenue with the present moment. Not a single language on the earth can explain it, that experience. But it's a very stark, very under the nose experience, but you can't communicate. But imagine we group sit in a suitable room, we call meditation hall, and each and everyone touch that, get earth, get avenued with the present moment, and when we are sharing our experience, we can say it is a human experience. At that moment only you become human, otherwise you are a dreaming person, either past or future, thinking about other places or other people. So that dream world become norm now. That become our real home. But whenever you have been try to connect it with your present moment, the sitting posture, if that is we call yoga, whenever we are sitting and experiencing that maybe one split second, you can understand whatever the way of life, walk of life, whether you are ordained or not, whether you are Hindu or Buddhist, whether you have past experience or not, whether you have a theory understanding or not, experience is utterly the same, exactly the same. So I used to call that experience as humanity. So now I am going to take a few minutes together with you all to give a little bit of experience. Maybe I am using 5 minutes. So I am going to give a bell sound. So please make yourself comfortable as a preparation for this exercise. Make yourself comfortable, sit in symmetrical way, and make left side of your body and the right side of the body symmetrical. Keep your arms, limbs fully relaxed, and try to experience few minutes. When I gong the bell, it is having a high pitch and slowly reducing. Try to listen to the last drop of the sound, the tapering sound, the dwindling sound. More and more you to trace, and you see the mind is naturally focusing to the present moment. Mind is naturally focusing, or mind is becoming self-aware, and help promote our mindfulness together with diligence, yoga. So I invite everyone to be ready. I am about to give the bell noise. Till the next bell sound comes, just keep your posture and try to be contented with yourself, your posture. And I call this as loving kindness to yourself, and to be friendly with your body, to be friendly with the present moment. And if possible, we will share our experience later after the talk. Please listen to this sound and try to continue with it, forgetting about the rest of the world, and try to trace to the last drop, please. Okay, thank you very much for your patient cooperation. So in the classrooms where children are very playful and with up to noises and nonsense, we used to do this together with the teacher. Imagine when you are listening to these gong sounds for the second time, definitely if you are a sensitive person, you can go further into the silence. Third time, then we can share our experience. What is the end of the sound? And they are the children, they are so much of with their ideas and presentation and projects. I think we have about 20, 30, 2,000, 3,000 feedbacks from the children. Whenever they can go deep into themselves, they feel something completely new. In Satyapasala, we have a program called Mindful School. We are giving nothing, but we are catalyzing your mindfulness, your vigilance to the present moment, the diligence to the present moment. And there, more you go and dwell in the silence, you can understand there the highest happiness is happening when you do nothing. So this is never you find in civilized society, never in supermarket, never in the carnival. So they are making so much of noise, so much it is sound pollution is there. So when you come back to some people try to relate it with the Om sound when everyone is making a rhythmic ah, oh, then you can be with your body. So likewise, each and every religion, they have this kind of tactics. That is to make yourself diligent, vigilant, apamada, be here and now. And to go further, take the tool of mindfulness. This is what we experience in sitting, mindful sitting. We never call it even meditation because none other religious people make us think that we are going to convert you into Buddhism. No, we are going to give this to the Sri Lankan school community, 0.45 million children, 70% Buddhist. Others are non-religious, but equally they accept the bell sound and to be aware of the here and now. And next thing I would like to go further is, if you get the concept of be here and now, be friendly with your body and love your body, then you can do walking meditation. That also we call mindful walking. And you are pacing up and down with full attention at the beginning, of course, how the soles, left sole, take the weight, and then to the right sole, and to the left, and to the right, like how many steps you can continuously walk. And more you go, more number of steps, you feel kind of a contentment. You feel kind of earthing to the Mother Earth. And you feel kind of immunity. You feel kind of an energy, and that is more mobilized than mindful sitting. And that is equally well accepted by children. So this is the way you are doing something, one thing at a time, and that done well, and you know how many steps you can do. To make it more dramatic, make it more fun, make it more mindful game, we ask children to walk upon a rope laid down on the ground. So they have to walk on the rope, imagine 15 millimeter rope, and then ask them to walk with closed eyes. Then they have to touch the rope step by step. So it's a very challenging one. And they are giggling and they're laughing, but still they can do it. And imagine, even for young, elderly people, you can do it. And you can walk forward, and imagine you are walking backward with the touch of the rope. There you can see how many steps you would have walked on this earth, and out of that, how much with yoga, how much with mindfulness, how much with diligence. So we are not with the Mother Earth. So when we are walking, wherever we are going to have a session, we are asking how many space you have. If a school, we take the playground. In a temple, the Bodhigharaya, or where the sacred pottery is there, so we do it. And that is highly appreciated. Now I'm going to the third aspect. If you accept diligence, if you accept be with your body is the best way to bring your mind at home, not to be past and the future with other people and other places on an experimental basis. We have about 20-30 video clips prepared when you get up in the morning and go into the toilet. How do you brush your teeth? How much you are aware that you are brushing your teeth, rather than future planning, rather than thinking about the dreams, rather than thinking about the rushing. And that is the main thing I did, I myself as an undergraduate, because I had no chance to sit. But I am such a dynamic person, I never allow any person to sit and wait, because I am making nuisance. I am disturbing them. And walking also not. So brushing it happened. The second thing is walking. And when you are going to the bathroom, how much you are aware of your bathing process. When you are eating, how many morsels you can eat mindfully. And likewise, we have prepared yoga also we have. I am very happy to share it with the Hatha Ashtanga Yoga, a young girl showing posture by posture, how can we maintain the mindfulness and the turtle-like and the other animals-like, changing from one to the other. Do it in a SMS mode, slowly, mindfully, silently. And whenever you try to do here and now silently, what does it mean? According to our Satipasala concept is, you have to listen to your own sounds. Within a day, how much unwanted sounds we are making. When you are slamming a door, when you are washing a dish, when you are doing something, how much clumsy we are. And if we are making such unwanted noises, whenever we are sitting, others will give the return to you. Because you don't know. So after the COVID, I think BBC, they have done a survey to see people become even arrested, house arrested like. They are not moving, cars are not moving, planes are not moving, trains are not moving. Now the bird sounds also reduced, it seems. Otherwise, birds also chirping very louder, because human beings are such a creature. Always make sound pollution. Whenever you are doing, you don't know how to do it in a smooth way. So whenever changing from the posture to posture, how silently you can do it. So the moment you start to listen to your own sounds, I call you become a yogi. Or you become a yogini. Because you are responsible. You came to on this earth, and while living, how much you can do. So we can think about the rishis and jnanis. They are very slow. They are very silent. And they are very mindful. So if you have difficulties to understand, just look at your cat at your house. They are very silent. I don't think they are mindful because they catch mouse in a very fantastic way. And they do it such a slowly. Imagine, see, whenever a cat spot a rat, how nicely, gracefully it is moving forward. So that is the way the judo, karate, and all the martial arts they are doing. So that for that, yoga is very important to be with your body, and you can do sitting, mindful walking, mindful day-to-day activities. But how do you know? How do you know you are mindful? How do you know you are here and now? That verification is very difficult. There are some gadgets, functional MRI scan, EEG machine, and brainwave starters. They have recognized different kind of waves, alpha, beta, theta, gamma, and they can understand when you are active, brain is issuing this kind of a wave. And it is in calming down this, when you are in sleep, that. And we are doing, that is just to show even to the Buddhist, because otherwise they don't believe this mindfulness is giving so much of benefits. Yoga is going to give benefits. In America, they are very advanced. They have charts to say what is the way the mind is behaving. They have done a very interesting. Research. When you are put into the MRI scan and says, look at the picture, and they can trace what are the places being active when your eyes are working. So they have been instructed to look at a picture, very calm and quiet. And all of a sudden they give a sound. And then mind changes from the control room, you can see, from the seeing places to the hearing places. Then the color shapes changes. And their more important thing was how quickly from the sound to the picture, mind can come back. That is called resilience. That resilience is the part we call the personality, your maturity, how you're different from the animal. Otherwise, your amygdala, which is representing your reptilian mind, is overpowering everything. But whenever you do yoga, whenever you become mindful, your prefrontal lobes, they are becoming larger structural changes you can see, and hippocampus. So whenever they are happening, they can see your changes in your brain or structural changes in your brain. Not only that, they can see if you are doing yoga, if you are doing apamada or diligence, if you become mindful, your chromosomes, they have, each and every chromosome, they have a cap. So when you become senile, the cap becomes thick, like a helmet. But if you are practicing daily, when you become apamada, when you become engaged into the yoga, they recognize a telomere or telomerase enzyme. It is reducing the thickening of the edge cap. So that means you are rejuvenating. They explain it through hormonal changes also. So otherwise, we are in a fast forward movement, linear movement of aging, senility. But whenever you are practicing, or whenever you become yoga, you have to understand you can stop that process and you appear very young. Your skin become brighter, your nervous system, your blood circulation, and other hormones are becoming more and more rejuvenated. So that is why we can recommend anyone, whether it's a relative or not, please, don't get engaged with this fast moving world. Of course, we can't do away with it. We have to find something to eat and our basic needs. But don't do unwanted, luxurious consumerization, the bad habit. Instead, be frugal. Yoga, in that sense, very good. Very frugal, light suit, light meal, and the way of life. and less amount of medicine, and then allocate a lot of time for this kind of to be friendly with your body. So then you can understand, you can have a better life and least amount of environmental pollution, least amount of consumerization, and you will learn very important word, enough. Present day world is more than a dragon, consuming like caterpillar. They don't know how to say enough. Because parents do not know, therefore children do not know. So therefore, if the parents learn with this meditation, less amount of noise, the peaceful walk, or rather slow action, at least maybe 5 minutes per day. And imagine if the whole family is doing in their media room, so-called, 5 minutes. And we are trying to explain into the school at the beginning. And from one period to the other, in the future education reform, they are ready to give to the Satipasala 3 to 5 minutes. The teacher has to give a singing bowl or some other exercises, clapping or sort of thing, to refresh the mind. And then relationship with the children and the teacher to the next period will be happy. So likewise, we have to incorporate in our life, either in terms of appamada, the diligence, or the simple tool we develop. Of course, it is not our discovery, it is the discovery of the omniscient Buddha. And everyone is born with that character. So therefore, we have to catalyze and say, be unto yourself. Be here and now. And for the children education, Madam Montessori, and her idea was every and each child born with the world telling, I'll be the world conqueror. And this great idea is completely distorted after the age 7 or 6. Parents are giving so much of limitations, they become depressed, they become handicapped, they become limited, and ultimately they hate the society. So the mindfulness, yoga, appamada is giving that fresh chance for the child. So therefore in mindful school, we teach even the elderly people or the young how to be a beginner, the beginner's mind. More you become beginner, more you become flexible. Very easy someone to teach, even the yoga. So therefore, ultimately, even the flesh become flexible. Your bones make all the kind of, allow for all the kind of actions. So that is how the body is going to give evidence. So therefore, I wish to relate the yoga term. The term yoga is how to engage to your present moment, how to engage into your present posture, and to be aware about the mindfulness, the alertness, the awareness, so that we have to talk each other. We have to share our experience. So that is how the group discussions and the talks like this helpful. This is just catalyzing our own birthright, each and everyone. So therefore, the yoga also may accept, and the mindfulness also generally accept. The potential wise we are the same, possibility wise we are the same, but our walk of life is completely distorted. We are professionally exposed to the imbalanced posture, sitting, working only with the tip of the fingers. We don't know how to handle a mammoth. We do not know how to handle an axe. We do not know how to kindle fire. Everything has been supported with the new technology. So we become zoo animals in a cage. We don't know. Our parents are much lucky. Grandparents are still lucky. But I don't think we are too late. Even now, if you can understand, so to say, the theoretical understanding and rationalize yourself, whether you are Hindu or Buddhist or Christian or whatever it may be, is it something wrong to be friendly with myself? Is there any lacking to be friendly with myself? Our body is a fully equipped laboratory. Everything is to distract yourself from you, present moment, either space and in time. So in yoga, in mindfulness, we try to understand to be here in the time dimension. And anchoring that onto your body, make it a space dimension. And to be here and now, and to verify that very experience of here and now only possible for humans, not possible for devas, not possible for brahmas, not possible for animals, not possible for neither worlds. Only human can do. So therefore Deva Brahma, they are very envious about the human being. Because they can do yoga or ayoga. They can be either light to light or darkness to darkness. Etan dvidaha patanyatva bhavaya vibhavaya cha. You can either select now onward to go to the brightness or to the darkness. So you have that willpower. Etan dvidaha patanyatva bhavaya vibhavaya cha. Tatattanang nivesheya. Understanding that, behave yourself to be here and now, yata bhuri pavaddati. Accordingly, your progress, your unhindered progress, or your sustainable progress, you can do. Of course, it will take time for you to verify yourself whether you are progressing or not. Till that, I agree. Till that, you have faith. You must have the faith that I am going to do is correct. But what I am telling is that very faith that I request at the beginning is something verifiable. If I am to quote the Buddha, he says maximum 7 years. Within 7 years, you can verify. Minimum, he has given 7 days. Very, very specific places, he says, if you know in the morning, evening, you can verify whether you are on the correct track, whether you are engaged, whether you are mindful, or whether you are progressing. In my life, I was so lucky, I would say the luckiest person on the earth, because whenever, since I started with this mindfulness and try to be diligent, I met up with so much of true people, noble people. Otherwise, I am not a cultured person. I am very, very dynamic and all the kind of thing. Of course, now I am old at that age, but despite everything, I had the best people. They are simple living and high thinking. At that time, I was wondering how come that kind of elderly people compassionately accept me to come into their gathering. Because I am such a person, always against the grain, always angry young man, always doing something wrong. But they never kick me out. So therefore, it is my duty not to find the fault with others. Everyone is having this potential and possibility. It's a human right, or it's a birthright. So therefore, I am going to end up my talk telling, please be mindful and mind your own business. With that remark, I would like to sum up the talk. Thank you very much for the opportunity given to me for the talk. Thank you for listening.
Whenever you are committed and vigilant, your practice progress, and that is yoga. Most Venerable Eeriyagama Dammajiva Thero, today you gave us a new definition for yoga, and please accept again our heartiest thank for joining with us today to share your deep knowledge about mindfulness. because as we all know, mindfulness is a very famous and most commercialized concept, I would say. But today you set a good foundation and explain us what is the core concept of mindfulness. Not to regret about the past and not to be excited or too much worry about the future. Just be here and now and enjoy the present moment. So once again, thanks a lot, Bante. And with that, we can start our question and answer session. So if you have any questions, please put them on the chat and we can read the questions for you. Maybe we can wait for a few minutes until to check if there are any questions. Seems not.
I hope Amalka can start with your own question.
Yes, Bante. Like, I actually I practice mindfulness, and one question I always have is like, sometimes you feel that you are progressing and suddenly you get so disappointed that sometimes you can't concentrate at all. So then we get then we doubt about our own practice.
Yeah, that is
So
good.
how?
That's a good opportunity for me to explain whatever the way we define mindfulness, you try to see it as concentration. The whole world is misunderstanding. So yoga is something you do here and be aware, not the concentration. Concentration is a result of continuity of mindfulness. So sometimes even though you are mindful, it is not continuous, then mind concentration may not be. But that does not indicate you are not mindful. My question is, if you are not concentrated, how do you know that you are not concentrated? How do you know it is different from the concentrated situation? That is what you call mindfulness. So how can we communicate and say whether you are concentrated or not, whether you are progressing or not, whether you are successful or not? That mindfulness is monitoring it. But don't give values, premeditated ideas and concepts. Just continue. That is the most remarkable part of the human behavior. Even if it is a failure, you continue. That is we call sustainability. So that indicates the spirituality. In the economic gain, you measure it by rupees, measure it by dollars. But here, even if it's an utter failure, you never give up. You continue, and that is the superhuman quality. That is that is something the superhuman. I know, very difficult, but you are the only critical factor. There is no second person. You continue it with, and after a while, again you may hit with the success, again the failure, again this. So therefore, it's a capitalist system. Till you gain enough, uh, products or results from your business, you have to invest at the beginning. After a while only you can feel the viability of the business. So till that, talk with each and every businessman. They underwent difficulties. Those who are successful people are the people not given up. So therefore, in spirituality, I think we must have a higher resistance rate, just continue. Then you have something, your own experience to tell and share with the beginners. Yes, sir, this is the way in my life also. I also had the same, but the success was some or the other I managed. Sustainability was there. And when we are sharing it with no language barrier, everyone can share because we have our success and failure, but we are very unhappy to share our failures. That's a present-day literature. It's utterly biased. But when you are reading heroes, when you are reading successful people, they are happily talk about their failures, and that is the key, golden key for the success. So therefore, don't give up. Just continue.
Thank you, Bhante. Actually, I always get the encouragement from your words. So thanks a lot once again, with much merits.
Welcome.
And Bhante, we have questions now popping up in the chat. So let me read them for you one by one.
Yeah.
The first question is, how can we practice mindfulness and being in present moment in the day-to-day life with so many distractions?
So that is at the beginning, just like in nursery, when you are making saplings, you have to make a nursery atmosphere till it become hard enough. Just like you have to find a meditation center, you have to find a meditation master, you have to allocate 5 minutes each day, something like that, and go to that place rather than practicing at home. And that kind of a thing, that kind of meditation centers are much more than 40 years ago. I observed everything. When I was practicing, there were no meditation centers as such. There were no meditation masters as such. But those who are dedicated, we get together, we just find an empty house. So therefore, nowadays it is available. And in our Satipasala website, satipasala.org, you have maybe about 60 videos how to be mindful watching while you are brushing teeth, having a bath, all the kind of thing. But I'm telling is, besides that, have few minutes and have people with the same kind of motivation get together in a place. Don't expect 50s, 60s. Even under Corona, it is not allowed. Maybe 10, 15 minute people. In the Veluwana Dhamma group, maximum was 15. We few people meeting, and after 2-3 years only we came to know we had the relationship more than blood relatives. So likewise, start with the mindfulness for the sake of mindfulness. Later only you can put into the mindfulness for the sake of day-to-day activities and multitasking. An enormous multitasking capacity happens. It takes time. But this question is for the beginners. We are moving forward.
Yes. Thank you, Bhante. The next question is, mind with so many thoughts. Mind with so many thoughts. Is it possible completely to practice silence and to be in the present?
First of all, you have to understand mind means thought. That is Rene Descartes mentioned, ergo cogito sum. I think, therefore I am. So we are always make that machine. It is everlasting machine. So does that increase your well-being? Does it productive? To mindfulness indicate you are running a machine, but doing someone's agenda. That very understanding is very, very heartening, very, very heartbreaking. We are making our children more and more thinkers. We are making our neighbors, we are making our everyone to engage more and more thinking. But no one is keeping a book or bookkeeping. If you are to keep bookkeep, you understand it's such a high tension current. It's not making a well-being. The important thing is be mindful and be aware how much inner thoughts, how much inner chatter, how much fantasizing, how much daydreaming, but I make a pause. But you can be aware amidst of all the high speed thinking, you are sitting here. That is what you call resilience. While walking, whatever the thinking, you can again cut across and see, yes, I am not sitting, I am walking. That indicates mindfulness, the thought moment of mindfulness is much, much, much powerful than inner thoughts. Much, much, much powerful than daydreaming and fantasizing. So just give a break to the thinking. While thinking, just be aware your posture. It is called proprioception. That's the inbuilt system in our body. Whatever the fast thinking, you feel you are hungry. You feel you are thirsty. You feel you have to go to the toilet. So therefore, it is nothing new. It is nothing due to the meditation. You are making use or you are shedding light of mindfulness to this proprioception. Be aware of your posture. Just like early question, meanwhile, allocate 5 to 10 minutes. 5 minutes walk, 5 minutes sitting, and then you can understand with compared to the other time, this engaged time give more chances for you to be aware of your sitting and more aware of the chances for sitting and walking, the difference. So therefore, be aware. Mindfulness is such a powerful tool. Wherever it may be, you can be aware, here now I am. And the tool we prepared is called the mind jar or magic jar. Go to the website and see the magic jar, and it indicates how the agitated mind and how the settled mind, and they have prepared a small, very easy tool you can observe. With that, we are moving to the next.
Thank you, Bante. The next question is, Bante, some say that engaging in mindfulness practice are quite relaxing. Should that be the correct outcome or focus?
That is, we call the therapeutic part of the mindfulness. That is what the Westerners are selling. They promise you so much of relaxation for the so much of dollars. So when I started mindfulness, Venerable Bhikkhu Bodhi from America, he asked, are you, Dammajiva, going to have a multi-billion-dollar business, or are you going to sell mindfulness? Then I told Bante, you are correct to say that mindfulness is a big business. It's called business Buddhism, especially in America. But we are thinking, we are introducing mindfulness as a preventative rather than therapeutic. Therapeutic aspect is the stress reduction. There is a win product, become a commodity now. Whenever it is there, it is a good way of verifying. But we keep on practicing in a sustainable way, ultimately you will not commit morally shameful, morally fearful thing. And then you are better off. So it happens, first you have to treat to the symptoms, and then you have to treat to the root cause. The treating to the root cause is called prevention. Prevention is better than cure. So therefore, it is been advertised, but the Western, there are movements to see whether there are side effects and after effects of mindfulness. Definitely you will get side effects and after effects if you are chasing behind this calmness. Not that calmness is not happening, but don't take this as the last or end of the thing. It's just a byproduct of mindfulness. So you have to gain with the gain of the calmness. You can continue, but it's a good criterion, of course. But the mindfulness is far-reaching that, or rather, not therapeutic, not only therapeutic, preventative. So it make one point in our Satipasala. Don't use mindfulness for the face value. Don't use it for the therapeutic value. Have a belief, have a trust. It is leading to further. It is the first and foremost outcome, the Buddha to be, if I am to refer, is the purification of the mind, not the calmness and the concentration of the mind. They are the byproduct. With that, we are moving forward.
Much merits, Bhante. The next question is, how do we discipline ourselves for meditation?
Very, how do you call, very paradoxical question, because I am not a disciplined man. I was an angry young man at the age of 26. So I told Venerable Dhammika Bhante, don't talk about the discipline. If it is so, I will not come to you. He told, I never talk to you, discipline yourself. I am telling, whenever you are naughty, be mindful. Whenever you are slowly doing, mindful. And he never taught, but the Buddha, if I am to refer to the Buddha, Sati Sampajanya Sutta, the Buddha says, if you are not mindful and clear comprehension, you have no even base for the moral shame and the moral fear. Because you are a wild beast. You are driven by amygdala. You are driven by this economical and political rat race. So whenever you are aware, that is your agenda, how the people are monitoring our mind, and then you can understand mindful thought means give a chance for you to be moral shame and the moral fear. Whenever that happens, that is leading to the restraining of your faculties, how to make use your eye, the ear, the nose, the tongue. So otherwise, we are no limits. We ever indulge colored TV, three-dimensional TV, and all the kind of thing. Sounds, Dolby sounds, mono sounds, and all the kind of thing. And with that, household means that you have all the facilities, ultimately you will end up with the hell. So therefore, whenever you try to be mindful, you fish to have a silent place. And there you find when the senses are restrained, it's at home. Otherwise, it is always outward. When the senses become restrained, morality, the precepts, and rules and regulations, each and every religion is talking about. And it is happening 3 times. The very, very basis is at the mindfulness, at the clear comprehension. But in our Dhampasala, it has been taught the other side. You have to be disciplined to be mindful, disciplined to be meditate. But in my case, you have to be mindful to be disciplined. So please check this reciprocal relationship. But the religious people are happy to say you have to be disciplined to be mindful. But present day, it is not the case. We are working with the drug addicts people. We are working with the prisoners. We are working with the all that of people completely at the lowest ebb we can introduce. And they are crying. They are crying and say, Bhante, we never thought to be a civilized person. We never thought to be a mindful person, but I can walk 4 steps. Left, right, that my bloody criminal mind is not disturbing. So that has to continue. While continuing, you can do. Today also we had a discussion with the Commission of the Prison to introduce this mindfulness irrespective of the crime. Specifically, we are nowadays working with the drug addicts, narcotics, and they are very happy to accept it. So therefore, don't expect the discipline of the restraining of the faculties to be mindful. Even the undisciplined, unrestrained faculties, you can be aware, because mindfulness is a CCTV, closed circuit TV. You can look at it and then you can put the action replay and slow motion and see how did you perform in front of others, or kind of thing. So it is giving it's a clip for CCTV, just like a cricket. If you have the third umpire, the cricket camera, and that gives unbiased, no human error, exactly what happened. So you can check yourself with action replay slow motion, CCTV, Otherwise, you have to depend on others. So therefore, don't worry about undisciplined situation. You are undisciplined utterly because of the society. I am doing with the due responsibility. You are completely misled by the society. Inner person is very innocent. We have that innocence mind. That is why tirelessly we have to share it with others. So we are moving to the next.
Thank you, Bhante. The next question is, when I meditate, I'm very calm and can keep my mind at the focus. However, when things happen outside, the anger, for example, comes so quickly that you cannot prevent, and only after some time you feel that you should not feel like if you meditate so much. Does this feeling get better as you continue to meditate? Thank
The
you so much, Venerable.
simple answer is don't meditate. Be mindful. It's very difficult for Buddhists. I have to brainwash them. I am 30 years old in my seniority. I directly tell them your term use of meditation is utterly misused. When you are talking God, when you are talking love, when you are talking blah, 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 you don't know. The mindfulness, when you're angry, you know you're angry. When the mind is calm, you know you are calm. Then you can understand what are the atmosphere and the external factors, variables, make you calm and aggressive. Imagine, can you be calm without aggressivity? Can there be aggressivity without calmness? They are interdependent. You are giving a stage. There's a drama. This is the happy ending and tragic or comedy. So you are driven by someone. Your agenda is set by someone. Of course, I know mentally imbalanced people can't accept it. That's why they go to the bipolar or schizophrenia. But we are real drama. We are real actors in the teledrama in this world. And if you are to see from the CCTV camera how you are working, and imagine you have such a clan, there may be some 10, 15 other peer group, and they are also coming and telling today I did that bad thing and later I understood. Likewise, today the commission of prison, he says some people kill his own brother because he picked jackfruit from his tree. And after he says, if I had a chance to think about what is I'm going to do, definitely I had no such a drive. But it happened there because of lack of mindfulness, lack of self-judgment, lack of awareness. So I killed. Later it is too late. So therefore, within yourself, the ugly fellow is there. Within you, the saint is there. Saint and the psychopaths. So maybe difficult to comprehend, but if you are ready to accept it, not only you sympathize yourself, you will become the great sympathizer of the other criminals. That is the way they become. So I told today also, I also would have gone to the prison. So much of things I have done. Luckily, I was not. Now I become an advisor and I feel what a difference. So therefore, within yourself, this beast is there. Undisciplined, the reptilian is there. In China, we call dragon. In India, we call snake, naga. And another civilized person also there. So therefore, just see what a double action happening and share it with others, how innocent you become, how humble you become. You are not lying. You are telling directly. So therefore, accept your mistakes, accept your anger as your own under your nose. That sharing is the main tool. I appreciate. That is why I am taking time now for this question and answer session. Not only for the particular person asked the question, not only for the Amalka, but this is the thing we have to share with other people. With that, we are moving forward.
Thank you, Bhante. We have two more questions. The next one is, would it be possible to use mindfulness to eradicate fear for dark of child?
I had a book. It is written by, after the attack for the World Trade Center, I think they would have killed about 15,000 people, but registered only 5,000 odd people. After that, they had a symposium with the Mind and Life Society, together with Dalai Lama and the Harvard University. They wrote 7 destructive emotions, 7 books. The anger is tackled by Turman. He says the anger, for once you understand the anger from the mindfulness point of view, he start the preface, I will never angry with the anger ever. So likewise, the fear is the sum total of your defilements. Each and every being is with fear. So you are fearful to close your eyes. You are fearful to go to a forest. You become fearful to go to a silent place. That's why we always have ear plugs and listening. Seeing. Because we don't know how to be isolated. And loneliness and aloneness. Loneliness is a sickness. Aloneness is a bliss. The fear make whenever you feel lonely. So therefore, you don't know how to associate yourself. You don't know how to associate be here and now. So therefore, go to a good shrine room with a good vibration, with the fellow meditator, just sit and see how much you can be aware of your present moment. And moment you be friendly with yourself or friendly with your present posture, you find you are in a safe haven. You are in a island in the vast sea. So more and more you associate yourself, you can understand otherwise how much you are hating yourself. You are hating your figure, you are hating your posture, you are hating your house, you are hating your husband, you are hating your wife, you are hating everything. Because you hate yourself. So therefore, love yourself, then the fear will be reduced. But I know it takes time, but definitely answer is short and sweet. Yes, we are moving.
Thank you, Bhante. The next question is multitasking a barrier to mindfulness? Should you not multitask if you want to improve mindfulness?
So there you have to start with one thing at a time and that done well. Allocate 5 minutes and then try to be one thing at a time. You are only breathing and you are aware of the breathing. Or you are walking, you are aware of the walking. Then you can understand multitasking is a addiction, workaholic. We are very happy to say multitasking. I have done a job 6 years in a Norwegian company. Throughout, I was mindful. I started as the assistant production manager. I went up to the CEO. Everything was very smooth. Even the working director was amazing. Then I told, I am not worrying about everything. Whatever I do mindfully. And therefore, I learned labor management. I did my postgraduate. I went foreign trips. And I managed the productivity. And I managed the propagation house, research and development. We are having so much of potential. We are not using even 1% of our capacity. Imagine a computer, when you are using computer, you are never using even 5%. And your brain, even at your deathbed, you have not used even 1%. It's brand new. So therefore, in future, it is a joke. In future, there may be brain transplanting. So far, you have the heart transplanting. Of course, brain transplanting is a dream. If you happen to do a brain transplanting, please use a politician's brain, never used. Because they are never using it. They are using a private secretary's brain. So therefore, multitasking is a very simple task. So if you wish to be here and now, definitely you are a hero and you can control the whole world. When you are mindful, you are emitting kind of a vibration. The whole world become calm. Whole world become less polluted. So that is called conscious army. Anyone try to be mindful even for a split second, you are contributing to the calming down of the earth. You are contributing to the less pollution. And therefore, this thought moment of mindfulness will only teach you how much capacity you are having. Otherwise, this present day multitasking, it is a very simple, it is very, how to call it, misusing of this thing. You can do so much of thing, but simple thing is start with one thing at a time that done well, and slowly, mindfulness will diversify as and when it grows, just like cascading water from the upper field to the second. Don't try to monitor it. It is doing by itself. So I can give my own life experience. Uh, that is why I'm so happy here. That is why I'm so contented here, because within a day, so much of things are happening. But still, of course, sometimes I become agitated and kind of thing. But day by day, I become more and more mindful. With that, we are moving.
Thank you, Bante. Actually, we have one more question. And this question is from Bante Kusela, who has joined with us today.
Thank you.
Yeah, the question is, Bante, it was very interesting that you said they do research in New Haven City, and you connected it with whatever the research you do, you should see the good side as well as the bad side of it. Just a comment. Would you mind talking a bit about self-aware AI robots producing any karma?
So it is called artificial intelligence. I simply say artificial intelligence means wandering mind. When you are here and now, you can't do that foolish thing. But they are happening now. Arthur C. Clarke started with that controlling kind of thing. And now the very renowned person asked me, Bante, someone has to have a deductive knowledge, someone has to have rational knowledge, you must not be mindful. If you are mindful, no deductive knowledge, direct experience. So when you are in the mindful moment, no artificial intelligence. But these minds are the best for the artificial intelligence. But they are not making luxury, they are not making gadgets, they are not making things. Ask them to depend upon your own mind than the intelligence, that the wisdom. So therefore, wait and see for maybe 1 or 2 decades, how much is a falsified thing, what we call artificial intelligence. When we are living in the forest, even the corona happens, we don't care. Because we know we keep the distance. We have our own down-to-earth life. People may say we are very slow, we are very backward, we are not very social like. But I try my best to keep relationship with this state of art research, and I can understand how much they are start with the falsified, wrong base. Utterly, I complain they are not mindful. That is my short answer, may be questionable.
Much merits, Venerable Dammajiva Thero. With that, we come to the end of our question and answer session. I think your words are very encouraging and always gives us a hope to continue our practice. And I believe this has been a very useful session to all the members who has joined with us today. And we will conclude the session now. Those who wish to talk to our Dammajiva Thero can wait in the meeting. And
And also, since Dammajiva Thero talked about the Satipasala organization, we would like to just show you the website so that you can have a look. Can we share the website?
Yes, please. Give them my email as well as the website connection.
Yes. So this is the Satipasala website. All the things that Bhante referred, you can find them here. So these are the sessions, the links. With this, we can conclude our session today. Those who wish to talk to Bhante, you can stay in the meeting. Others can leave. So thanks a lot for joining us today. And Dhyana will happen every month, one day prior to the Poya Day, same time, 6:30. And would like to see you in our future programs as well. Thanks a lot. Good night.
Thank you. Thank you for showing the website connection.
It's always our pleasure, Bhante. Has Bhante left the session by any chance? Let me check.
Hi, Thero and Saranai, everybody. So hope you enjoyed the session. And so basically after the session, what we normally do is we give a chance to all our participants to just to have a word with the Thero or the resource person. So I don't know, Amalka is checking whether we can engage with the Bhante again. So as soon as he's back, maybe whatever the questions that you want to talk with him, any in detailed explanations you can get. So just give a couple of seconds. We'll be right back.
Bhante will join with us soon.
Yes,
okay,
please.
So we have our Swamin Mahansi back. So thank you very much, Swamin Mahansi, for joining again. So it was a really wonderful session. So it's a key element that we should understand about, be mindful and live in the present moment. Rather, we go into deeper dimensions of the religion or the meditation. So it's a key fundamental element. So Bante, we have our Ashtanga Yoga Mandir members here. So I have switched on all the mics. So if any of you want to ask a question directly from Bante ji, and you can discuss right now, you can unmute yourself. So
we have Bante Kusala with us, so maybe we can give.
Yes.
Bante, we met in Canada, I think 2 years ago in Mississauga Temple, and we have also met in other places. I don't have questions because I know you are tired after giving this talk. This was very insightful, and thank you for answering my AI related question, because this evening I have to talk about it to a group, an online group. So,
I have
helped
a
me
message.
think through.
I have a message to Mrs. Agu. I have a message to Venerable අපේ හාමුදුරන්ගේ නම මොකද්ද? පොලිස් එක වැඩ කරන්නේ.
ධම්මවසනායක හාමුදුරුවෝ.
නෑ. අපේ බංග්ලාදේශ්
සරණපාල හාමුදුරුවෝ.
සරණපාල හාමුදුරුවෝ, because he did a good job with the Toronto police, and now yesterday I did the Sarath Weerasekara and how do you call Desabandhu Tennakon, and they have made a complete plan for the Sri Lankan police. So we are going to do 200 police officers at a time, and in Kaduwela, and I was waiting for that. So sometime it's going to happen. I will invite Venerable Sarnapala to come and just show his face, because he was so successful in a completely Western country, and I was follow suit, and I asked him to come and help, but this happened now naturally. Please pass my message to Venerable Sarnapala.
I will do that today itself. Thank you, Venerable. Thank you very much, Bante.
Thank you, your participation.
And Swamin Wahansa, Bante Kusala Thero did a program with us in December when we start DHYANA about Vipassana meditation, for your information.
Good. Welcome.
And Bante Kusala Thero, it's really nice to see you. So every
nice to see you.
For a day we see you, so it's really nice to see you, and we are very privileged to have you with the community. Miss Saumya, do you have any questions? Anaga, you have any questions? I'll unmute your mic. Yes.
Thank you, Bante, for such a I should say that it was a very practical kind of session which I've attended today. I'm very happy to hear, and I got answers for so many questions, even though I asked one question and you gave a very nice explanation. I just have one more to ask you. Talking about the innocence, when we were young, we will be so innocent. Now, how does things change very drastically like this? Sometimes we think and realize that we have come through this journey, and we have changed so much in this journey. So how do we relate ourselves, Bante? Please, I need an answer for this.
Yeah, I think you are thinking about innocence, not the inner sense. Innocence. Mothers and parents, fathers are responsible of making children criminals. Simple. I went to Dambana. Dambana is the Aboriginal village in Sri Lanka, and he has written a paper, and he gave a signature also. He says, let us tell our children the most idiot parts of the people are the elders. So if we can become innocent, if we can become childlike, we can go to the children and share. And you can see how innocent they are. And after age 6, it is brain is growing at a rate. And then we are pouring our cultural values and the background values. Ultimately, they think that is the truth, that is universal. Ultimately, it is become a script in their mind, and they are looking through that. And if anyone is doing something, they will come and kill you. And if one is doing something, they will think as they are the friends. But they are not completely exposed. So therefore, but the mindfulness never become too late. There's a one book called, you can read it if it's possible, Zen Mind, Beginner's Mind by D.T. Suzuki. And he has taken he's a Mahayana, well-renowned author. He has taken this idea of beginner's mind from the Theravada, and he has written a very wonderful book, and it is been gone through, read by all the Western meditators. Just see, even we, you see, now I am 69 years old, and I know the mill I have gone through, but I associate with children as much as possible. I mingle with soil as much as possible. I jump into the sea and bath, jump into the river and climb trees. Of course, climb trees are not good for monks. So then I have a huge family. We call mindful family. And I know I am about to go to Jaffna, and they have developed the mindful games and kind of thing. They say it is really, really far reaching, but you gave a very just glimpse. Come and see how much we are making this, because Jaffna people are down to earth. They are innocent people, but due to the criminal war, fighting with Sinhalese Buddhist and all the kind of thing, but still they are innocents. Even if you go to the far remote areas, Sri Lankan, and they are very innocent. So don't, and I will give another quotation from this, the Aboriginal leader Uruwarge Vanilatto. He says, the development, I hate the term. I hate this term. This is the what make us criminals, make us like ghosts. Down to earth, we were you good people. So therefore, it is never too late, and we have our own innocence within. It's like a candle fire. It's like a welded lamp, and outer we have our cultural and all the bubbles prepared by. But don't make it as a hindrance. Just openly talk with people. Maybe we are contradicting, never mind. But we have no idea of contradicting. But I learn a lot from the mindful school, because we started multi-faith discussion. And there I can understand each and every religion is going to talk the same. The humanity, the down to earth, zero, datum line. And they are very easy to communicate. So therefore, don't worry about the corrupted mind. It is a very thin layer. Inside, it's a huge, the glorious, bright mind. It's a childlike mind. Then we are living in the present moment. And then we can talk directly. We can read each other because we have emotional literacy. We are emotionally understand whether you are a male or female, but the mind is the same. So therefore, don't worry. You females can do a lot because you all are mothers. I am a male. I am very arrogant, and even with the children, I am going there. I may be little maybe harsh, but when I give it to the mothers, they know how to do it, because you know the breastfeeding. Breastfeeding means kind of your blood. You are feeding the child, and then the connection. See the connection. So therefore, don't be disheartened. Don't be any kind of a inferiority. We all are equally potential. We have the equal possibility, but we have to talk aloud. We have to tell directly. Don't worry about all the other contradiction and the kind of thing. We are human. So therefore, don't worry about the corruption. Believe and dwell upon the good part of your mind.
Thank you, Vante. Thank you so much.
Welcome. Vanakkam. Micham Nandri.
Nandri. Mikka Nandri.
Micham Nandri.
Thank you very much, Swaminathan. We also have Samantha Ji from Ashtanga Yoga Mandir. Madam, would you like to share some thoughts or a couple of words? I think most of the others are a little new to AYM. Definitely followers of Bhante. Okay, Swaminathan, I have one more question, one last question before we wrapping up. Am I audible?
Yes.
Yes. So Swaminathan, so we have heard like a lot of, I mean, most of the time, like you mentioned in your discourse as well. So sometimes for people to realize living in the current moment or coming to even the spirituality and all, so sometimes there has to be some big event has to happen in your life. Maybe a demise of a loved one or demise of a child or something like that. So sometimes some event need to come and trigger so that you start to think about your life in a totally different perspective and all. So before that, maybe since you don't know how to handle your alone time, alone life, so sometimes you get into different troubles or maybe into a bad relationship or maybe into a criminal activity. So something like that. So just for general, for the normal human beings. So without really getting yourself into a big incident or something like that. So how can a person, slowly start? So how to convince a person to slowly start, like you said, engaging with a meditation school or with satsang. So that can be one option. So likewise, how to really manage your alone time and because the thought flows are very strong based on the background that you are coming from and all. So what is your advice for this? I just want to, just to summarize.
Two remarks. One thing is, even a big mishap happens, hardly any person fall into the correct side. Many go to the wrong side and they kill themselves or they commit suicide. One thing. And many people study Dammajiva, myself, I had no such an incident. In my case, I met that monk and he told, you are not mindful. Then I told, yes. But I had no any incident. But the answer is, incident is giving a therapeutic value. But the preventative value, very difficult to teach. So whenever corona happens, people know distance is good. Otherwise, they are immediate and all the kind of thing. But the not to commit and preventative one is very difficult. Prevention is better than cure. And I will give an example. You see now how much is the family health and the how do you call the therapy or allopathic medicine. You allopathic medicine completely overcome in the world the health and people lost family health. After the corona, only Family Health Bureau and the PHI came into the being. And the way the medical science killed all the family health, you can listen to Dr. Hagade, Professor Hagade from the Manipal University, and he is talking like anything. He is the expert. He is a vice chancellor in the Manipal Psychiatric University. He says if the doctors are not there, there won't be any killing in the life. The hospital nurse will do, because nurse talking about the health, Hedakama. Hedakama means prevention. So I gave a talk to the medical personals in Colombo, and I told Hedakama is the main thing. Even if it is difficult, it's mother's job. Vedakama is the defeated system. Once you fall into the trouble, there's no other way. But now see how Vedakama has overpowered the Hedakama. The nurses have been completely lost and the doctors are there. And when I'm talking like that, it appears like very harsh, very not so compassionate. But this is the truth. So therefore, you must not worry with the wrong people making money and kind of thing. You must just give your simple message, live up to that, and continue. Don't expect that Hedakama become popular. Never. Prevention never become popular. So therefore, don't have the big hopes when you are doing Ashtanga Yoga. Don't people to come and do everything. But even one person doing is enough. So other people depend on the results. So those who are result-oriented are the cancers. We have to continue. This is not for selling. This is not a commodity. This is not a therapy or healing. Of course, therapy, healing is a tool. But you must always address to the prevention. So when I am talking about this prevention in the Satipasala, I find many of our, even the facilitators, my helpers, they don't understand it. They easily become discouraged. Then I told, if it is so, you are disqualified. Because mindfulness is such a thing. So talking about the human qualities back at home, so don't expect everyone to come. But the people we are doing, we facilitate, must live happily. That's a big message. It's called silent sermon. So when you are doing, it's a silent sermon, and that talk louder than your words. So therefore, don't worry. Not that I am telling that you must take initiative to give it to the newcomers and all the kind of thing. But when they come, rather than your talks and all the kind of, you must appear like a happy person. You must appear like in the present moment. Then the connection happens. Even to the very lowly, socially very low ebb person or high kind person, connection happen telepathic, directly, if you are with the happy mind. But if you have the tactics and techniques and this mantra and that mantra, I mean, it is for something else. So you are a representative of Dharma, Satchitananda, and the living example. This is the way the lineage happened. So we will keep it up. We are using the present day teaching technique. We are teaching and trying it, but don't have too much of hope, too much of success rate. What we are doing is good enough. Good enough.
Yeah. Just to add it there, Swaminathan, I think even in Ashtanga Yoga, what they say is you leave out about the benefit or the result which is going to come, right? Keep on practicing the abhyasa. So then it will take you somewhere. So then in that journey, there are different things will come on your way. The journey will change and all these things. So it's keeping the faith on the system and, moving forward.
So my Burmese master says, fulfill the courses. Don't expect results. Fulfill the duties and courses. 100%. You have to fulfill it. But don't expect results. Expecting results is very filthy. Expecting results is very minuous. Expecting results is you are putting it lowly. We are not. That is the difference between the economy and the religion, economy and the spirituality, economy and the philosophy. Our philosophy, by doing itself, we are happy. No any results. So if the people have that kind of a mentality, they will attract, they will come. Other people not coming, no problem. We have no such a big plan, the whole world to come and do Ashtanga Yoga, whole world to come and do mindfulness. No.
Yeah, correct. So thank you very much, Swaminathan. Again, I'm really we are so privileged, and I thank Amalka also helping the Ashtanga Yoga.
Can Saumya have a bhajan singing?
As the closure.
Yeah, I mean they are really.
Why not?
I will just try with 2 lines.
You need musical instruments?
No.
No, not just bhajan, whatever maybe what you say is stotra. Yes.
Shri Chakraraj Simhasaneshwari Shri Lalitambikaye Bhuvaneshwari Agama Veda Kalamaya Rupini Agama Veda Kalamaya Rupini Akhila Chara Chara अखिल चराचर जननी नारायणी नाद कंकण नटराज मनोहरी ज्ञान विद्येश्वरी राजराजेश्वरी श्रीचक्रराज सिंहासनेश्वरी श्रीललिताम्बिकये भुवनेश्वरी श्रीचक्रराज सिंहासनेश्वरी श्रीललिताम्बिकये.
Very good. Michan Nandri. Very nallam. Alahan. අපිට මියුසිකල් ඉන්ස්ට්‍රුමන්ට් තිබුණා අපේ ඉස්කෝලේ යුනිවර්සිටි එකේ ඉන්න කාලේ අපිට හිටියා දෙමළ කෙල්ලෝ 10 දෙනෙක් 10 Tamil girls. So we used to have a kind of a musical instrument and telling Satyam Shivam Sundaram Satyam Shivam Sundaram.
Yeah, this song was taught to me by my mom from when I was young, so I remember it.
This is about Saraswati.
This is about Lalita Devi. Lalita Ambika.
But Saraswati, Lakshmi, everything is same.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Yeah.
Thank you.
Good. Thank you very much for your song singing. Thank you.
So,
Amalka Sindhu kiyana nadda? Amalka Sindhu kiyana kala?
Amalka
Amalka be. බෑ බලන්න මේ සෞම්‍යයට කියපු ගමන් ටක් ගාලා ඉම්ප්‍රොම්ප්ටු දෙනවා. Soumya, you understand Sinhala? Soumya? No?
No. She's from India.
என்னப்பா இது தமிழ் சிங்கள படிக்க வேணும்.
கண்டிப்பா எனக்கு இன்ட்ரெஸ்ட் உண்டு.
ஊரு எங்க?
நான் பெங்களூர்ல இருக்கேன் பண்ணிட்டேன். சோ இருந்தேன் நான் 2 years அங்கதான் இருந்தேன். So I came back after my husband's assignment. So that's how I got associated with Ashtanga Yoga Mandir.
You are born in?
I'm born in Bangalore. Born and born.
So Bangalore, they have rich culture for singing and all the kind of, and the Arangetram and Bharatanatyam. Yeah, very, very nice. Ape kellanne bෑ, Amalka can't. They don't know.
Sorry.
Okay, Amal.
Right. So, thank you very much, Swami Nohansa again. So, we will close the session from here. So, we wish you...
And also, Ante, we hope you will join with us again in our future programs as well.
So, organize it whenever possible. I will try to share with you all.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Thank you very much. So, we wish you all the good health and good company. And Thero Saranai Swami Nohansa.
Satchitanand. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes. So you all can disconnect. So we will catch you with the next program before the next poetry. Thank you very much.